With my good man Amar Bay. Amar Bay, what's going on, man?
Brother, peace.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been incarcerated?
Yes, I have. I've been incarcerated 2 times.
So on the first time, what was you incarcerated for?
Aggravated robbery.
Okay. On the second time, what was you incarcerated for?
Aggravated robbery.
And what was the robbery on the second time?
I robbed the bank.
Bank robbery.
Bank robbery. Yeah.
Bank. So what they call you? What they call you down there, Phil? The gentleman's bank robber.
The gentleman's bank robber. Yeah, you can try to say yeah.
Yeah. So how did you? Before that, on a serious note, what led you up to robbing the bank?
Well, what led me up to robbing the bank is, when you feel outside pressure, you put pressure on yourself, like, your bills are due, you got other obligations in life that you're trying to take care of, and the only means that I thought was probably I could take care of, hey, hit a bank. They got the money insured, hey, I get the money, everybody cool, Right. But that would led for me to do it, just outside pressure, my pressure I put on myself.
What was you doing prior to that? What was your job? What was your trade? How did you make your living?
I made a living through landscaping. I've been doing landscaping over 30 years, 35 years, matter of fact. And I picked it up from my granddad, and then I just figured out, I say, okay, I do landscaping, because I like the outdoors. I can't be boxed up, I like to just be outside, and I like to talk to people and be with people. And I like to be a creative, I like to do creative work, and landscaping give me that option. I could create flower beds, I could create patios, stuff like that, of that nature.
Were there any type of chemical imbalance or any narcotics or alcohol involved that kind of
exactly
played a part in that decision?
Yeah. Well,
you feel like talking about that?
Yeah, I freely talk about it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had a dependency level. I had alcohol level. I had marijuana, crack. Back then, we used to call it amp. I had that kind of level in my life, and I guess I was at the point of my time. I was just trying to search for something to just pacify some of the issues that I couldn't kind of comprehend in myself. So I thought I could find it in doing drugs, doing alcohol. I thought I could find it in that, but I learned that hey, that took me down a road that I didn't wish to never go down. But it was a hard fight to try to get off of it. It's kind of hard to get off of it, and so.
What would be some of your advice to people that may have dependency, chemical dependency, and they're out now, maybe been out? What would be your advice to them?
Well, to put it in the simplest form is this: how I figured it out is for those who have them kind of issues that's going on in their life. I look at it like this: it's a door, right? And I know what's behind that door. So I know if I open that door, all hell gonna break out that door. So I choose not to even open the door. You know what I'm saying? And so if I look at it that way, hey, it's feasible to me to work it that way because I know it's just always your addiction is always trying to get an inch back into your life. You might meet people that you might have a bad day. You say, well, I'm gonna try to medicate it, but I know that's wrong because I know if I play the tape through, which we have to play the tape through.
Right.
If we play the tape through, you can play it all the way to the end. You'll see the outcome. So
good, and a lot of people may feel like, well, that that's really not, like maybe that can help me. So can you just offer maybe some steps or some advice on self-control? How about that?
Oh, okay, self-control. For the shortest term, I don't want to elaborate on self-control because it's all in the mind. It's all up to the individual and what you're really trying to do.
Right.
And I could tell you one of my motivating factors is, my mother's still living, right? And one of my motivating factors is I made a promise to myself that as long as I live, I want my mother to see me in a good, positive light.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For those who don't have their mother here, maybe they have children, they could say the same thing about, they could say,
right.
Hey, I want my child to see me in a positive light,
right.
That I could uphold, I could just uphold a standard.
Right. So, and that was one of the, the key things for me because, I had got incarcerated on Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
the only way that my mother knew that something was going on with me, she had got a call from a bail bondsman, you know what I'm saying, on Mother's Day. So every Mother's Day, it's very, you know, it's very
Exactly.
sentimental. So, you know, that
Exactly.
was one of the things that I told myself that,
Yeah.
you know, especially my grandmother, because she was
Yes,
more
yes.
like the mother figure in our family. And so
Right,
I always
right,
wanted to make
right,
sure
right,
before she leave this earth, you know, I always
Yeah.
wanted to make sure she could know that I'm all right now.
Yeah, you.
So that was kind of,
exactly.
you know, that was kind of one of the motivating factors, you know, for my transformation too.